Hello and welcome to this webinar. Today we'll be looking at how a teacher would use the quiz activity in Moodle to assess student learning. As always, we're using Google Hangouts on Air, which means that you can utilize the chat facility built in order to raise any questions you might have as I demonstrate things. You can also make a note of my email address, which is just in the middle there, if you have any questions after this webinar. And there's also our Twitter username just at the bottom if you want to follow us and tweet any queries you might have. For those of you who haven't used Moodle or haven't used the quiz activity in Moodle, it's basically the quiz activity comes as standard with Moodle and is often used to assess student learning. Teachers have the ability to create many different types of questions, for example, multiple choice, true or false, calculated numerical answers, that kind of thing. Quizzes can have time limits as well, so that's an option that a teacher can enable. And each quiz attempt is automatically marked by Moodle, which essentially saves teachers time and provides teachers with grades and quiz reports which show in-depth analysis for each question, for each attempt made by the student. So we'll have a look at that when we go through the demonstration. And teachers can always set open and close dates for the quizzes as well. Okay, so the aim of this demonstration is to show you how easy it is to create a quiz and then build questions within the quiz. And I'm going to show you how, once the quiz has been created, how a student would log in and take part in the quiz. And finally, we'll look at the gradebook and how the gradebook contains the grading information as well for the teacher and student as feedback. Okay, so we'll just exit this slide and then we'll go into Learn Academy, which is our demonstration site. So this is a Moodle site using Moodle version 3, and it's been customized fairly heavily, so it doesn't look like a standard Moodle, and it's been optimized to work with mobile and tablet devices, which is something that we do. So as always, within our previous sessions, we've been using the Moodle demo course, which is just down here. So if I click on Moodle demo course, you can see that if you've seen any of my previous webinars, you'll notice that this is how we left it in webinar 3, which was about adding homework activities in Moodle. So we've got a section here called homework activities. If I click this, you can see that this is the last activity which we created last month. Now I've created another heading underneath called quiz activities, and I'm going to add my new quiz here. So to do that, I need to first turn editing on. And once editing has been enabled, I can go into my section, and this time I'm going to create a quiz which is going to be used for homework. And this quiz is going to be about geography, just to change the subject for now. So I'm going to use a quiz activity here, then click on add, and then Moodle provides you with a form to fill out. Now there are quite a few options in here, but all you need to do here is give your quiz a name. So this is something that will appear on the course page itself, so it needs to be easily understood. So I'm just going to call it homework geography quiz for now. Really simple, and I can add a description in here if I want to. It's not a mandatory field, so I'll leave this for now. And then timing, this is the other section that you probably want to have a look at. When do you want to open the quiz and close the quiz? So these are options that you can enable. I'm going to leave it open, and I'm not going to set a time limit. If I wanted to set a time limit, I would enable the tick box here and put my number of minutes into this box here. Okay, so I'm just going to untick it again. So I don't want to create a time limit for now. And there are lots of other options in here which aren't really mandatory, so we can just do save and return to course. Now that's created our quiz framework, so we can see our homework quiz here. The next step is to click on the quiz and create our questions. So we can see a message, a clear message saying there's no questions within this particular quiz. So we need to click on Edit Quiz, which is a blue button just underneath, and that one now allows us to add new questions. So to add a new question, there's a little add menu here. So we can click on Add, and we can choose Add a new question, which allows you to create a brand new question. And if you've already created quiz questions in the past within the same course, then they will appear within the question bank, and then you can reuse those questions within different quizzes as well. So I'm just going to go for a new question, and these are the different types of questions that I can have within my quiz. And the Moodle website, moodle.org, allows you to install additional question types as well if you want to go down that path. So a really easy one to start off with is true or false. So I'm just going to use true or false to start off with, and I'm going to click on Add. And the question name is the first thing you need to fill in. Again, it's got a red star next to it, which means that it's a mandatory field. And I'm just going to put a summary of the question here, so that you don't actually put the question itself here. It's just a summary of the question. So I'm just going to call it capital of Hungary, and then the actual question will go into the question text box. So I've got a file open. Okay, so this is my questions file. So I'm just going to paste in my questions in here. So that's the question, and then I need to choose what the correct answer is. Because it's true or false, I need to choose the correct answer just down here. So true is the correct answer. And general feedback is used for, you might want to provide them with more information about the question, or you could provide them with an interesting fact about this question as well. So for instance, it's about Budapest, so you could put something like the population of Budapest is 3 million. I'm just guessing that, but you can add something similar. So again, feedback for the response true. So this is where you would put feedback if they answered true. So because true is correct, I'm putting well done in there. And for false, I'm just going to put wrong answer. Okay, and that's it. Just do save changes, and that's created our first quiz question, which is a true or false question. We can preview the question as well anytime when building our quiz. We do that very simply by clicking on the preview question magnifying glass icon here in the corner on the right hand side. So if I click it, it opens it up in a new window, so you don't lose your quiz page. So if I can see the quiz preview here, so if I'm happy with that, I can close this down and move on to the next question. So the next question question type I'm going to use is multiple choice, which is fairly popular when it comes to using the quiz activity. And the question name will be, so I want, basically the question is going to be, which one of the following countries is not part of Europe? So the question name, I'm just going to make it not part of Europe. And I'm just going to paste in my question. And then, because this is a multiple choice, I have to insert my choices further down. And before I do that, you can see there's an option called one or multiple answers. This particular question, there's only one answer that is correct, so this is the option I need to enable. But sometimes you might have two or more answers that are correct, so you can choose this option. Multiple answers allowed here as well. Okay. Shuffle the choices is a good one to have enabled, which basically means that every user will see the answers, the possible answers, in a different order. So if I go down, I can put in my choices. So choice will be China, the grade for this question will be 100% because this is the only correct answer, and the feedback will be well done. Choice 2 will be France, and then the grade will be none because it's not the right answer, and then I'll say wrong answer as the feedback. China is the right answer. So I'm telling the student, I'm informing them of the right answer as soon as they, even if they get the answer wrong, so they're learning as they go. So I'm going to copy that response. I'm going to use it for choice 3 and 4 as well, because they're both incorrect. So grade is none and feedback is the same. And the last option is Spain. Grade is none, feedback is exactly the same. So we've got choice 5 here as well, and we can add more choices by clicking this blue button, but we'll leave it as that and just do save changes. Okay, so that's added a multiple choice question. Again, we can preview it by clicking on the magnifying glass icon, so we can see we've got a multiple choice question here. Now we'll add another one, but this time we'll make it a little bit more interesting, and we'll use a graphic. So we'll use an image to show the question. Okay, so again, I'm going to choose multiple choice and click on add. Okay, the question name is going to be, I'll just call it map. And then here, I'm going to type in some text, but before I type in some text for the question, I'm going to insert my image, my graphic. So if I click on the insert image icon there, I can now browse my repositories and upload a file by choosing a file from my computer. So if I go to my folder here, I've got a file called map.png, so I'll just use that, upload the file, and I'll make it a little bit smaller so it's easy to see, and click on save image, which should embed the image in here. And then underneath the image, I'm going to type in my question, which is just here. So I'm just going to copy and paste that. The question goes here. So the question is, which country is the red arrow below pointing at? Well, I should say above there. Okay. And then again, general feedback you can use if you wish. And then if I go further down, we've got all our choices. Again, there's only one answer which is correct, so I'm going to leave that option as it is. So Australia is the right answer. So the grade for that will be 100%, and feedback will be well done. Choice 2, Japan, grade none, because it's not the right answer. And I'm going to put a feedback of a wrong answer, Australia is the right answer. Okay, again, I'm going to copy this response for the other two options I'm going to make available. So I'm going to make available Malaysia, and grade will be none. Feedback will be the same, and then we'll just go for one more. And feedback will be this wrong answer because it's not the right answer. So now we can do save changes. And because I'm using an image, it makes a question a little bit more appealing to the student. So if I click on preview, you can see now there's an image and a red arrow pointing to an island, which is Australia. Okay, so I can close this window down, and we can do the same thing again and make it a bit more advanced by the use of using videos. So you can embed a YouTube video into a question. It doesn't have to be a multiple choice, it could be true or false. And we can add a video, so we can basically do add a new question. I'll choose true or false this time and click on add, and then the question name will be global hazards. The question text will go here, so I'm going to put something like watch the video and answer the question below. Okay, and the video will go here, so just going to get the video by going to the YouTube website. So this is a video that I want to embed on my course page, on my quiz question. So I'm just going to copy the URL. I don't need this page anymore, so I can go back into Moodle, and I'm just going to highlight the video word that I've just added there, and insert a web link by pasting in the web address that I just copied. So I'm just going to click on create link. You can see that's become a link now. It's a blue text link, and underneath here I'm going to add the question. So the question will go here. So the question will be: human activities contribute to the frequency and intensity of natural hazards. So the possible answers will be true or false. So that's the question in there. The video will go just above it, and the correct answer will be true, and feedback for true will be well done, and false will be wrong answer. Again, these aren't mandatory. You don't have to always give feedback, but it's something that's available to you if you need to use it. So click on Save Changes, and that question will be added. Again, you can preview it by clicking on the magnifying glass. So we should be able to see the video now. So we can see a clear message that the teacher's asking them to watch the video and answer the question. And the question is just underneath the video. And underneath the video, there's two possible answers that they can choose from. Okay, finally, for this demonstration, we'll use one more question type. And that one will be matching. So if I click on add, so there's quite a lot of other question types that you can try out. But for now, I'm just going to use matching. So matching, and the objective for this will be to match the countries with their capital cities. So I'm just going to call it countries and cities. Okay, so our question name is always a summary of the question. It's not the actual question itself. And the question text is where you put the question. So this is what I'm going to enter. You don't need a question mark, that's fine. And then if I go down further, I can see all the questions and answers. So I'll just put Romania. And the answer for Romania, the right answer for Romania is Bucharest. We'll have another one, Croatia, Zagreb, and Hungary, which we've used earlier. Budapest is the city for that country, and we'll add a couple more. Scroll down, you can see there's 3 that I've added, and I'll add a couple more in here. So Germany, Berlin, and what else can we use? Yeah, Portugal, and answer will be Lisbon. Okay, so they're the 5 questions, matching questions that will go into that quiz question. So I'll just do Save Changes. We now have a quiz with 5 questions. Now, if you look at this page, this is the actual quiz builder page. You can see that each question is on an individual page. Because I've only got 5 quiz questions, it's useful to have all the questions on one page. So we have a button here at the top called Repaginate. If I click on this, I can have all 5 questions on this first page. So if I click go, that will put all 5 questions on the first page. Or alternatively, I can just click on Unlimited and press go, and that will put all of them, no matter how many there are, onto the same page. So you can see there's page 1 there, and you've got all 5 questions here. If you wanted to add a page break, you could just click on this little icon here in the corner, and that'll add a page break, just how it was before. Okay, So the next step is to, as a teacher, we're done with this quiz. So the next step is for the students to participate in this quiz. So I'll log out now and log in as a student, just to show you how a student would participate in a quiz. So I'm logged in as a student, and this student is enrolled on the Moodle demo course and has student privileges. So if I go down, I can see the 3 sections we created, and if I go down further, I can see in the recent activity block that the teacher has created a homework geography quiz activity. So I can access my quiz using this block, or I can just browse through my homework activities, and I can see there's a homework activity here. Okay, so this, as soon as you click it, you get a blue button to attempt the quiz. And if there was a time limit, you would see a pop-up window to confirm that there's a time limit for this quiz, which I haven't enabled. And as you can see, all the questions are on the same page. So we'll just go through and answer this quiz as a student. So the capital city of Hungary is Budapest. Yes, it is. True. Which one of the following countries is not part of Europe? China. And question 3 is, which country is the red arrow above pointing at? So that's Australia. And question 4 is about watching a video. I can play the video, and I can also go into full screen view if I want to, using the YouTube toolbar, and I can see the question underneath, and the answer is true. And then question 5 is a matching question, so it's a little bit different to multiple choice and true or false. So Germany, we can choose from these options here. So Berlin, Lisbon, Romania is Bucharest, Croatia is Zagreb, and Hungary is Budapest. So they're the right answers, I believe. I can now do next, and I can either return to my attempt to change my questions, or if I'm confident that I've got them all right, I can click on submit all and finish. Once I click that, I get to confirm my action, and then as soon as I press save, I can see my results. So I can see when I started the quiz, I can see my current status is finished. I can see it took me 1 minute 37 minutes to do this quiz, and I achieved 5 marks out of 5, which is 100%. So if I go down, I can see a breakdown of the questions and whether I got them right or wrong, and the feedback from the teacher as well. So you can see these little feedback comments that I've added as we go along. So if I go down further, question 5 has 5 ticks against each option. Okay, so as a student, I can finish my review. And as a student, I can also go into my gradebook to view my grades. And if I go to view my grades, I can see that I achieved 100% for the geography quiz. So that's assurance for the student that they've taken part in the quiz, and they've also got their grade for the quiz as well, which is being automatically marked by Moodle. Okay, so we can log back out again, and we can log in as a teacher. And if I go back in into my demo course, as a teacher, I can go into the quiz this way as well. So if I go into homework, I can go into attempts. So I can see attempts now has number 1 against it. So 1 student has made an attempt. And as a teacher, I can click on show report, and I should be able to see all my students, and I can review each attempt. I can see which questions they got right or wrong, how long they took, that kind of thing in here. And all this data is exportable as well, so you can export this data from Moodle. And all the grade information appears within the gradebook as well. So if we go back into the course, as a teacher, when viewing the gradebook, you'll be able to see the grades for this particular activity as well. So you can see there's an assignment there and also a geography quiz which this student has taken part in. And again, we can export the gradebook as well using the export options at the bottom here. Okay, so that's the demonstration over with. Let's just go to the next slide. So the next webinar will be about a similar topic. It'll be creating quizzes, but this time we'll be using the hot potatoes activity, which is an additional plugin which you can install in Moodle. And there's also a desktop software which you need to have as well. So that allows you to create questions very easily and quickly, and it allows you to share your questions with other teachers as well, and so that they can use the quiz questions within their courses. So the date for your diary then is the Wednesday 20th of April for hot potatoes quizzes. Again, both there'll be 2 webinars on the day, so there'll be one at 8 AM and also one at 4 PM GMT. So yeah, feel free to come and join those sessions as well. Just want to say thanks for watching, and if you do have any queries, feel free to get in touch via email or via following us on Twitter. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.